So this is my persuasive speech, and I'm presenting for Patrick and Tricia. The title of my speech is Medicare for All. According to a New York Times article from July of 2021, Americans owe twice as much medical debt as was previously calculated in 2016. New research from weeks ago show that American collection agencies hold $140 billion in medical debt. Medicare for All is the single-payer healthcare system that Americans need. Medicare for All will save 72 million citizens from crippling medical debt. My speech is going to take a closer look at some of the finer points of Medicare for All and highlight some of the benefits to the universal healthcare system. With accredited articles and up-to-date information, I will be endowing you with critical knowledge of the American national medical debt crisis and how Medicare for All can solve this catastrophe. We live in a world with rising medical costs and rising medical needs as we age. Medicare for All is the future of America, and universal healthcare systems are the future of healthcare systems around the world. Hospitals see patients as cash cows, but we know that people deserve a decent, debt-free life. Medicare for All became a hot topic in the 2016 election. But what could the average American tell you about Medicare for All? Luckily, Medicare for All takes a simplistic approach and is easy to understand. It can be broken down into 4 basic parts: a single-payer healthcare system run by the government that would insure all Americans and eliminate the need for private insurance companies. I know I just gave you a lot of information, but bear with me. I will break down each one of those topics momentarily. A single-payer healthcare system generally works by a government issuing insurance policies to its citizens. With a single-payer healthcare system, it eliminates the need for competition. It would no longer be a competitive healthcare market for treatment or services, and it would no longer have hospitals focus on profits, but rather focus on patient care. A government-run healthcare institution would allow the federal government to ensure equal healthcare and fair treatment to all American citizens. While a government-run healthcare system is funded by tax dollars, it would provide large, popular, and efficient programs to every American citizen. Having every single American insured sounds like a dream, but with Medicare for All, it would be completely possible. Everyone of any age would be covered. Anyone with a pre-existing condition could get medical treatment. You would no longer have to worry about your insurance provider cutting you out of necessary medical procedures due to either lack of availability or high cost. With the implementation of Medicare for All, there would no longer be a need for private insurance companies. You would be able to change jobs, careers, and move out of state and not have to worry about what medical insurance you would land with. You would be able to go on vacation and go, if you got sick or injured, be able to visit any hospital and not worry about if they were in your network. All doctors, procedures, and hospitals would become in-network, as there would be only one network. This is care centered around the patient and not around a medical bill. Now that we know a little about what Medicare for All is, let's take a look at how it can impact the national medical debt crisis currently experienced in America. Medicare for All should be viewed as a tool for all American people, and that begs the question, what can it do for us now? For a start, it would help a lot of Americans get out of medical debt and avoid medical bankruptcy. Every year, 650,000 Americans file for bankruptcy due to overdue or late medical bills. It might come to surprise you that most people who experience crippling medical debt are fully employed, college-educated, and homeowners. And medical debt impacts not only the uninsured, but the insured as well, as 80% of people who experience extreme medical debt were insured at the time when they became sick or injured. Under Medicare for All, hospitals would become more of a public service like a fire department or a police station. You might be a little upset if 80% of household fires couldn't be prevented by your fire station. Chris B. Calley and a group of colleagues from 3 different University of California campuses examined 22 individual studies that projected the cost impact of single-payer healthcare systems and reported their findings in a recent paper in the PLOS Medicine. All of the studies pointed to a universal healthcare system or a single-payer healthcare system creating a net savings year over year for medical costs. And Medicare for All was designated as one of the best ways to rein in medical costs in the United States. Now that we know what Medicare for All is and how it can make an enormously positive impact, we can get down to the nitty-gritty details. How are we going to pay for it? NPR speaks to a proposal made by Elizabeth Warren stating that she would need $20.5 trillion in order to fund Medicare for All. I will only be touching on a couple of these points as her proposal is very detailed and has a lot of fine tuning to it. First of all, we would raise taxes. No surprise there, but where we raise taxes is the most important. There would be a 3% increase on billionaire American citizens and a 6% increase on large American corporations, adding to a net total of $2.3 trillion to be used on Americans with medical needs. While this step does place a higher burden on people with larger incomes and companies with larger capital, this would allow for no new taxes to be placed on any middle-class citizens in order to pay for Medicare for All. The second step is to cut costs. Using the pay structure currently in place for Medicare patients and doctors currently, doctors, hospitals, and drug companies would be issued the same level of pay. While this would decrease their capital by a great deal, that money would be used to pay for Americans' medical expenses that are necessary or dire right now. The third step is a redistribution of payments. Employers who are currently paying private companies for insurance would move all of their payments to fund Medicare for All and be paid to the U.S. government. This would allow for an additional $9 trillion to be used for Medicare for All. I've only been talking for the last couple of minutes, but we are already past halfway to our $20.5 trillion proposed by Elizabeth Warren. Now let's take a breather and reevaluate what we learned. We learned what Medicare for All is. It's a single-payer healthcare system run by the United States government that would ensure all American citizens and eliminate the need for private insurance companies. We learned how Medicare for All can make an impact by reducing medical costs for all American citizens, relieving people of medical debt, and avoiding medical bankruptcy for all American citizens. And we learned how we can pay for it by raising taxes in specific areas, cutting costs in others, and redistributing wealth into places that need it most, people with dire medical needs. Modern problems require modern solutions, and with Medicare for All, it would provide a decent life for all Americans. Universal healthcare systems are becoming more and more popular, and in the future, they will be as common as running water in your homes. Thank you. I'm really worried that it stopped recording because it's not recording on my watch anymore.
About 7.5 minutes.